Alright. Let's see what's up. What's up, everybody? Yep. Are we live or are we still going? Okay, we are live. Good morning. And see hello. What's up, so I'm gonna be looking at your comments, and today is our classroom of the elite discussion of the A class. Please don't mind the B class schedule on the right side. This is random. This is how it should be. No, it's not. But we're still figuring out things. So, alright. Let me just see who's on real quick. So, the people are still coming up. There you go. What I'm gonna do today is we're gonna talk about an anime, and I'm gonna start with reading your opinions. Here is an A class. Alright, so the first person, I'm gonna be giving you badges as I usually do. Alright, so what we forgot is that the last week Potato Head left a review. So first of all, we have a review from The Prophet. So the plot is uneven. The good parts, the outsmarting other students, are really good, with an incredible amount of scheming going into the setup for the final episode. But when it's not operating at peak, it's usually in a valley, and the worst offender is the pool episode that literally has nothing else to do with the story. I can usually put up with the feel of fanservice episode, but episode 7 was so mind-numbing, I almost skipped ahead. The only reason I didn't do to fear of missing something important. So yeah, I'm gonna warn you in advance that there's gonna be spoilers. Oh, hello, Potato Head. There's gonna be spoilers for the anime, and there's gonna be some spoilers for the light novel, but I'll make sure that I'm not telling you anything that is beyond the anime. So we're just gonna compare the same events that are in the anime and in the light novels. So let's continue. Okay. The series has some good moments and a nice concept, partially for those who like cutthroat scheming by teenagers. That's totally my genre. But it's difficult to recommend on account of its lack of resolution and general unevenness. If it eventually has a second season, it might be able to pull itself together into something remarkable. But without a way for the audience to continue following the story, it's just unsatisfying. So here's our first review by The Prophet. And I'm gonna say that partially I have to agree with this, because the plots move. Sometimes there are many things that are unraveling in one episode, and sometimes we're just having a very even experience. Personally, I usually see such unevenness in the OVAs compared to the anime. Like, the anime has the best plot, and then the OVA is just a quiet life. And here we really have the middle of the season a little bit slipping out. So there's been a reply by Icicle to that review that says it shouldn't do a second season. I think it ruined it personally. So here's when we're talking about the difference between the anime and the original light novel series, because as soon as the anime started, there is a difference. And the problem is that, there are always the rule that we have here on this channel, that authors are not gods, because we don't want the canons to dictate what's right and what's reasonable. And whether that the canon of the anime, whether that the canon of the light novel, or anything else. But people were eventually affected. Oh, hello, the prophet.
Hi.
Okay, so I was just talking about how different light novel is compared to the anime, but I'm trying not to give any spoilers, beyond the anime. So
All right.
yeah, uh, right. I forgot what I was talking about. Let's switch to the potatoes interview. Let's just do that for now. Okay, and now I finally hear myself. So, here is Potatoes review. Here is my review for The Classroom of the Elite. First off, this whole anime is basically about a teenager's typical and cliche high school. In the story, we have main character, that one famous popular girl everyone loves. Uh, I I I think it's a boy though. Am I reading this right?
I personally have to find it.
I mean, I reposted it. It's been resurrected since the last.
Yes, I see it. No, you're reading it right. I think he's considering her part as the main cast or main character because they do share a lot of screen time.
Okay. Somehow it sounded like yeah. Okay, so we are talking about Horikita here, and yeah, I mean the main character is Ayanokoji because how like he's telling the plot, and it's different. So sometimes the person who is telling the narrative, who is the narrator, is not the main character, but here it's simple. It's the main character telling the story, and it's about him. And there is a big unravel of the story, but of course, character is the main cast. So
Hmm.
but this is weird. This is the first time we seeing something like that.
It'll be okay.
I am. So somehow it's not really like girl and the non-existence of parents. This is a common issue for teenage anime. Sounds pretty comical and peaceful. I wanna be in it. Just kidding. Okay. Anyways, in the beginning of the story, the show gives us a glimpse about the intellect and analytical skills of the main character. Now I'm not sure what potato, like whom Potato is talking about. Is it Ayanokoji or Horikita? Now this is unknown. Okay, so we have two people in the chat. Welcome. Let's continue reading. As every single student in the school are only allowed to spend 100k yen, if I'm not mistaken, which is probably entirely based off the points. Well, this is the plot.
Yeah.
I mean, only allowed to spend 100,000 yen. I think like it's not that little if you really think about it.
I think they based it off of yen, but they're given 100K to start with, and then based off merit points after that.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. The whole concept, the students try to rank up, that's true. Despite the story and concept of the anime being similar to other animes, I still love it. This is where I agree. It's very lovable.
Hmm.
This story will legitimately make you think critically as if you're in the story because of the behavior that each of the characters shows. There is that suspense and intense moment where you go like, oh, what he's gonna do, he can potentially do this or that. But if he does this, then with this and etc. Okay, so there goes some logic. So Potato watched the anime and probably tried to predict how it's gonna unravel, but he didn't know for sure. So the story progression is very generic. I personally like how the psychological part here unravels because on a psychological level, there many stories that are truthful and genuine. The character development brings out a whole different perspective to the anime because of the consistent and enthusiastic support that it brings to each of the characters in the anime. Overall, the animation, story, and the style are super B. It kinda sucks because it already ended. I feel like it could have added more characters to the story. I think we don't need more characters. We have like 4 classes full of people.
Mm-hmm.
It could potentially increase the hype and critiques to the story. Most of the reason the anime suffered. Okay, 1 second. I hear my echo. The main reason the anime suffered in the critiques and decreased the hype is because it went a different path from the light novels. Most people were very confused who read the light novels because light novels were very popular in Japan when the anime, was released, and there was a main waifu. There was a different main waifu there. So we're talking about Kei in the light novels, and it's Horikita in the anime. And people were very confused and very upset because of it. Okay, hello Alexander. So if you remember Kei the Prophet, I don't know if you remember her in the series because she's there but she's not getting the attention.
You talking about the one you liked?
No.
No.
No. So there is this girl who spent her whole allowance in the first month, the whole 100,000 yen, and she was borrowing from other girls.
I briefly remember that from the anime, yes.
Okay, and when they were on the island on the camp, she was the one who got her underwear stolen, and I was making a huge scene about that.
Yeah, the leader of the bunch was dating her, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's her.
Okay.
So in the light novel, she's the main love interest for Ayanokoji. And there is a lot going on there that I don't want to spoil you. So in the anime, many scenes, including that pool episode that you talked about in your in your review, there was that pool scene happened with Horikita, but originally it should have happened with Kei.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, no, I personally hate Kei. She's a very poor character with nothing lovable at all. But
Well, they do take their artistic liberties when producing anime.
I mean, yeah, there was this problem. So let me just pull the character list. So I can just read about her a little bit, I guess. There you go. I'm good. I'm just gonna post it here. So with Kei, let's see. Where is he? Yeah. So she's this kind of character who wasn't thinking too much, and as far as I figured it out from the light novels, it's a little bit of spoiler, but we need to talk about the difference in waifus. So she... What?
I'm just laughing.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, go continue.
So, in her previous school, she was heavily abused by someone, And you may think that this kind of bullying happened to her because, there were some guys and they were jerks. But in reality, as she enters this school classroom of the elite, she also tries to get into the same trouble. So it's actually her trait. It's not,
Oh.
Yeah. And eventually, I don't know why, thankfully, so I cannot spoil it to you guys. But eventually, I know that Ayanokoji did something to her that was very similar to the negative experience she had in school. So very similar to the bullying. And that's why she fell for him, because she liked it and she wanted more.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't get that far in the light novel.
Did you get somewhere in the light novel?
I did. I think I want
Oh,
to say 2 volumes.
wow. That's incredible.
Because we had that discussion about how it seemed like they crammed a lot of volume 1 into the first episode of the series.
Yeah, I think we did. In the, not here, but in anime discussion channel. Yep. So there was like this problem. Like, I wrote a whole article back in the days about this, and I still haven't published it yet, but now I'm gonna have to publish this.
I'd say so, since we're touching the subject tonight.
I guess so, yeah. So there was like this moment when I compared all the waifus, and there are so many good possibilities. There are just so many good women out there, and I mean real women, not just, dolls. Um,
Yeah.
for
Not these
once,
2D characters that they like to produce in a lot of them.
yeah. So, for example, there is an A class leader, Alice Sakayanagi, right? Arisu, how they call her. And she's a very sharp character in terms of plotting and being the mastermind. She's very good. So they are, made of the same cloth with Ayanokoji, and she could be a nice match if you think about it. Moreover, they have the same past. Anime and novel are two different worlds. Well, it's usual, but his authors are not the gods we compare. Okay, the message was deleted.
Oops.
So, yeah, happens.
Come
Uh,
on, Vlad.
we still try to understand. We're using every material that we have, but yeah. Anyways, what were we? Yes, Alisu. Alisu has the same past. She was in that white room. So throughout the anime, we have this white room idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Anaka just spent his childhood being selected out of the others as the strongest character. At some point, we have a very strange flashback into his life when he stands in that white room, and there is a little Arisu there also, and she is like in pain, lots of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being interpreted by those who watch the anime that he's doing something bad to her. But in reality, it turns out that it's the opposite. That's all I'm gonna say. So we have this one very nice past, and some mutual trust that could be built based on that. There could be some nice relationship. There is another awesome waifu, and that's the B class leader, Ichinose. Right?
I'm glad you remember these names.
Yeah, thank God, because I have been like watching this anime a few times, so I got to
Well,
remember
bless you
them.
for doing that. I could
Wow,
do it
why?
once.
I could do it twice. I took my time watching it. I feel the psychological level. Sometimes the anime really goes all the way down, but there were some moments that I really wanted to theorize on, to write articles on. And if you write something like that, you always have to rewatch a little bit and check.
I mean, the story was there. It really was. It's just the execution was poor for me.
I mean, yeah, it could be better. And the reason we are not getting the second season is because the authors of the original light novel and the director are just having two different universes. And the light novel was incredibly popular and it's still coming out in Japan. And the
Yeah,
anime just went different.
from what I read, I mean, the light novel was fantastic, and I have to agree with Vlad. It was two completely different storylines there,
Yeah.
two different worlds.
Yeah, I feel like there are those three guys, including Suda, who are having the worst grades, and it's not even shown in the anime that Ayanokoji is hanging out with them like constantly. So in the anime, Ayanokoji is like a guy who
He,
hangs out around
yeah,
women most of the time.
he's usually alone or with Horika, and then you kind of catch that glimpse in that. What was it? I think I touched on it. Episode 7, where they hang out at the swimming pool.
Yeah,
That was like your first real interaction with them hanging out, and even then, he seemed aloof, and he's like, "I really don't want to be with these guys."
yeah. Even though in reality, like I mean, in the light novels, he really spent so much time with them mostly. Okay, shall we talk about the rest of the people? Ah, yeah. So there was Ichinose. Personally, like, who do you think? Like, two questions. Who do you think is the best waifu in general, and who do you think is the best suited waifu for the main character?
I mean, they really just focused on Horika for me. Besides,
Horikita.
oh, what was the blonde girl with the split personality's name?
Kushida.
Yeah, she scared me. That split personality. First she's like, I just want to be friends with everybody,
Yeah.
and then it turned into, I hate them. I hate them all. It just
Oh my god.
she seemed
Yes.
she seemed really nice in the beginning, and like too sweet, like you could get a cavity from being around her.
Uh-huh.
Versus uh, Horica, or however you want to pronounce it, because I'm gonna
Horikita.
pronounce it. I think I'm going based off what I heard in the anime. So, anyways, she actually has a goal in mind, and she's striving, even though she doesn't want to be
Mm-hmm.
around these people because she's used to being brought down by other people based on her interactions with her brother in the anime.
Yeah.
Um, I would rather see those two together on both accounts because she's actually striving for something versus our main character. He's more lax based off everything that he's experienced in his childhood,
Mm-hmm. I
and
see.
it seems like she's actually bringing out his potential as the story went along.
Oh, that's an interesting viewpoint. I haven't thought about this in that way, but they have the similar goals, and yeah, the guy is a little bit spaced out, like the whole 12 episodes.
Well, yeah, they made it seem like, I mean, based on the quotes from his little flashbacks, you know, the only real waste is people that waste their potential when they know they're able to actually achieve greatness, which is what his, I have no idea, his teacher in those flashbacks said to him.
That was his father.
Was that his father?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the white room and the big guy standing in front
Yes.
of, yeah, that was his father.
Did they even touch on that in the anime?
Yeah, at some point, the teacher, like their teacher, the D class teacher, came to him and something.
It was one of those vague things, probably that.
Yeah, and she
I'm
was like,
sorry. It was just a hard watch for me.
and
They
yeah,
The potential was there, but they drug it out like they were
uh,
trying to find resources put into the anime, even though the novels actually gave them so much potential to work with.
there was a lot of potential, but as I read it, I saw that mostly there is like so much philosophical stuff. So it's a great book if you read it.
Oh yeah,
But
I
it's a
mean,
horrible anime if you literally make
well,
it the
I'm
way it is.
yeah, I get that. I mean, they tried to introduce, those quotes in the beginning of the anime to sort of set the mood, but sometimes philosophy can't be translated into animation.
Yeah, and this is when the book is losing like most of its flavor.
I have to agree 100% there.
So we have like okay, so Horikita would be the best. There is a chat saying Vlad saying Suzuni Horikita is the best. Uh, so we agree on this one, and I feel like so she's the best person, like the best female character in the anime, personally.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Though I'm from our talks, you have a different opinion.
I personally, there are so many good people. I personally like Horikita because, like as I said, she's striving to be the best. She has ambition, so she's totally my kind of person. Uh, Someone I would want to be friends with, not in a Kushida way, though. Like maybe comrades with, I guess, and
Comrades,
comrades, yeah. And on the other
salute.
side, yeah.
Salute. Um, but as for the manga, you've chosen a different one with our anime discussions.
As for the light novels, there is Kay, who has been like the main waifu. I personally hate every single bit of her. She's so useless in the classroom of the elite. If we were talking about any basic class, then she would be fine. You know, everyone has their own sexual preferences. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the light novel, they gave her personality. In the manga, or sorry, the anime, it was like she was there for lip service, and then she was gone. It's like 2 seconds flat, boom, she's done.
Yeah. So, Alexander, we're having a conversation in the anime of the week in the B class discussion because I'm still figuring out how to put in B class on the screen. So, it's an A class, but we're in the B class voice channel. You can find us there.
I
So,
mean, if you want, we can switch to the other class, so you can change everything. It's not a big deal.
uh,
I, I was only teasing you the last week when, when it was in A class, because why not?
I mean, I already know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna kill all the voice channels except for one, and we're gonna have fun.
I mean, you gotta have a different animation other than poor DQ just rocking back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to put something amazing today,
Hey,
except for the time leap that I had to make 1 hour earlier.
hey, it's okay. Hey, fun fact: did you know the voice actor for DQ is the voice actor for our main character in this anime?
What? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Seriously?
Oh yeah. Surprisingly, a lot of people from My Hero Academia voice cast in this anime, and you could not tell based on the way he acted for this character, not one bit.
Yes, you cannot tell. It's
I
interesting
I
because I've been watching English. Uh, I would say like the Japanese version.
I am talking about the English version. I am sorry there.
Oh yeah. So I was watching English dub for both, and I
Even
didn't
crazier.
notice.
So to link this all up between the last few animes that we've watched the last few weeks, or even this month, Chris Sabat, however you want to pronounce it, which is the voice of Vegeta and Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. He voiced All Might in My Hero Academia.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love those stories. I love when your favorite actor just starts to voice a character in your
Oh,
anime.
and to link it to One Punch Man, he did the voice of Vaccine Man, which I was telling you looked like the slug people from Dragon Ball Z. So there you go.
I need to
All
watch
three.
Dragon Ball Z. At this point, it's inevitable.
Well, we're having a new class. I
Yeah.
would suggest put that on that list.
Oh yeah, true. We are having a class about today.
Get on it, girlfriend.
Yeah. So let's see. At the no, I was talking about Ichinose, and she's someone I really respect. So she and Arisu Sakayanagi have my ultimate respect because Alice is at the top of the class. Nobody knows how and why she got there. There was this little conversation in the light novels between her and Ayanokoji at some point when Ayanokoji just snapped a little bit, which is unusual for him, and said to Iris, so like you are only here in such a high position in the school because your father rules the school
Mm.
in the adult world. And if he wouldn't, you wouldn't have your power. So it's all fake. And later on in the series, his words didn't prove out. So she still had all the power. She still retained everything. And she's just, a serious person to look up to. On the other side, Ichinose is another miracle girl who has millions of points on her account, even though she has just started the school. This is incredible. So once again, it's not a mystery, and it's been completely certainly shown in the light novels that she has not been doing any sexual activity for the sake of the money.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So just in case people think that. Ichinose is actually a player, and this is something to be respected. And
Oh,
we
I'm so
yeah.
glad I didn't get that far in.
So on the other side, we have Horikita, who's seriously trying to be in the A class, but she has no secrets. She has only the obvious playing ambition.
Mm-hmm.
And as for Yanakoji, he is kind of the same. He's very serious about this, and this is why, with any chance possible, he hides his interest in getting into the A class. And what makes a lot of sense in the light novels is this is why he hangs out with all those not so bright people, including Sudo. This is why he blends with them together.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't. He doesn't show his full potential, but he cares.
Yes, totally agree.
He's got that emotional detachment. I mean, what was it? Maybe episode 4 or 5 when him and um, I'll let you pronounce her name,
Horikta?
Horita, actually work together with their points to buy the um, class punk his
Yeah.
extra points to pass so he doesn't get kicked out of the class. So, despite the way that they portray him as an aloof, uncaring character, he actually does care
Yes, he
about his
does.
class. And you combine that with Horita's drive, you have that potential for a really amazing story in the anime. It's just,
Yeah. I mean, they
it's
could
on the
be.
cusp. It's on the cusp. It's just right there. I really want them to release a second season
I do.
and
I do.
actually, put the effort into it versus I don't really want I don't know what to classify the first anime. I can't recommend it. I can only recommend the light novel.
I mean, yeah, the light novel has so many details that were left out. I mean, this anime would have been nice if it had 500 episodes. It would be
I could
nice.
see them doing 500 mediocre episodes, honestly.
No, 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 no.
I'm just I mean they had what was it 12 or 13 episodes to do something with it, and they
Yeah.
kind of took volume 1, crammed it into 22, 24 minutes and said this is good, and they continue to do that with the next volumes afterwards, and it just
I think they just covered 4 light novels, if I'm not wrong.
if they could have, taken the time and maybe translated it over to 24 episodes, we
Yeah.
might have been able to actually done justice to the story.
I think here's the
They,
thing that you can see that sometimes they're taking this project and trying to just promote the light novel, and you can see that because there are only 12 episodes.
even then, I mean, it's not remotely like the light novel at all.
So
I
eventually,
mean, it's two different worlds. It's like the anime is like Bob walked into a bar, purchased a beer, and then the light novel is going through this whole thing where Bob got a grand idea and managed to gather all his friends together, gather the money, purchase the bar, make it into a brilliant franchise over the next 5 years. I, the,
financial
the,
freedom story.
the comparison is just, it's night and day. It really is.
Yeah, yeah, I feel
I
that
mean,
way.
I'm glad it was recommended to me. I like the premise. It just wasn't there, and I hope that in the future our compatriots give us more or more anime to choose from, such as this. Not everybody's gonna like what we choose, but it does broaden our horizons a bit.
Yeah, but we're having this vote every week, and it goes random every time. So people are voting for something they want to see. Sometimes it's a new thing, and sometimes it's something they have seen and want to recommend to the others. So I personally love those votes.
I do. I mean, like I said, I'm not knocking it down.
Yeah,
Personally, it just wasn't in my taste compared to the light novel. I
but
could recommend the light novel all day long.
yeah, manga was horrible as far as I see a few chapters, and they have a it's like a third different world. And I'm like, oh
Amen.
no. All right. So
Shall we continue with the next review?
yeah, oh yes. So we have like not so much
uh,
time, but we have to read another review.
I think we have Vlad next. Or no, it's
Yes.
you.
Oh, you wanna me read me?
You want me to read you?
Uh, yeah, why not?
Okay, to quote Tina, as for me, here's my spoiler review. The opening was nice. I was a bit bored in the middle because it was all questionable pace for me, which I do agree. You could read my review about that, which you have.
Hmm.
I came there for war and it got got too much fan service. Have to agree there. But overall, it was okay for me. Again, I have to agree. It would. I would like to see them graduate already and fight like the elite they are. Quotations. Nope.
Not yet.
XD.
Wow, this is like a Google reading this.
Hey, you're welcome. That's why I like Hunter X on Hunter, which I have yet to see. So maybe in the next time we can vote for that
We
sort of
can.
stuff. They don't mind or fear graduation. They have tons of plot to tell, which I have to agree. The potential is there. Maybe in the if they actually agree to do a second season.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I feel like it's been what 9 volumes, 300 pages each, and they are just in the second year still, if I recall right. Ayano was giving hopes at first. Alice is wonderful. Hmm. But the light novels are going in a slow pace.
Yeah,
It feels like.
that's just me
Oh,
being
sorry.
very very lazy at reading. So at first I tried reading and I went through the first light novel, I think, but eventually I just started to read those cramped description, posted out.
I feel you. I only read. I believe it was 2 volumes.
Mm-hmm.
The updates on it weren't that frequent. Like some of the more popular ones were once every week, unless it was a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. the dates in between it, but I want to say it was like 2 or 3 weeks on the website I was reading on personally. It may be different for everybody else.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where was I?
Let now
Going the slow
was.
pace.
Yeah.
It feels like the author. Yeah, yeah. It feels like the author is aiming to finish as they graduate, which I had to agree. But then we won't see the result of this. Classroom of the Elite education much. Ayano picked the worst waifu ever. Go on.
Yeah. So here I'm talking about the light novel, and I forgot to make sure that
Oh
I've
yes,
noted that.
the one that had her panties stolen in the anime. Is that what you're talking
Yes,
about?
yes, yes, yes. That's her. So eventually, that leader of the class was dating her, and sooner, after Ayana did bad things, she was like, Ayana can do such horrible things to me that the leader of the class can't. So I'm
Uh,
switching.
so sadistic
I mean,
or
yes,
masochistic, I should say.
she's totally mother. And Ayana isn't even like a horrible person who would hurt people on purpose, I
He just
think.
seems really apathetic to
Yeah.
anything.
So he was just playing, another game as a player, and she was like, oh.
Uh,
You're just having the similar reaction to the whole story. I mean, Ayanokoji, as soon as he accepted her as a sort of romance experience, like he died for me as a character because he had so much potential to rise to the A class, and now
mhm.
he's concentrated on the skirts, and that's just not saving him enough energy. You
Yeah.
either fight or you're having your personal life, and it's always between your personal life and the career. It's always that choice.
All right. To continue, I don't mind the director changing her and Horika's
Herictus direction.
Horikita's direction. He also gives on Ayano a very asexual vibe, which I really have to agree because in the anime he's apathetic. He's very emo, I guess. He just
Yeah,
doesn't care about the world
there is something.
until Horikita comes in and says, "Hey, let's do something," and he's like, "Okay."
But he usually does something, and she's pissed off because he does that behind her back.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Okay, back to it. I don't, to quote our Tina Rowe here, I don't need anyone. I'm all fine by myself. I couldn't agree anymore. From the beginning to the point where he kind of gets brought in by Horika's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the beginning, he's just all about, um, yeah, I'm here to do my very best. I hope to be friends with you all. Thank you.
But that was a
Which
nice beginning of a game.
I mean, I could kind of identify with that, but I'm sure everybody's had that moment in class or college where you have to go around and introduce yourself, and you're just like, I really don't want to do this. Hi, I'm Eos the Prophet. I I hope to do good in this class and be friends with y'all.
Please do. You're the chair of both A and B class, so please do.
I kind of hope to be the chairman of A and B class, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Senpai, can't. Is that possible?
I mean, I think that Ayana is really making a jab here. So he has a very certain. So eventually, he got all the classes into the console room, trying to figure out who is that mysterious X person who is making such great plans because they didn't know. So if since the beginning Ayano would show up his intention and his ambition, they would immediately know. Like they would have spies immediately figure this out. And
Oh yeah, if he showed his full potential, I mean, he could have easily been an A class.
I mean, yeah, there's an interesting story why.
They showed him to be really apathetic to everything, and not caring based on the suffering that he saw in the White Room.
But I think it's part of his rebellion against his father. That's why he
I
wants to be in the D class.
I couldn't agree more. Touching on you said it was Alexander because I
Yeah.
cannot read Russian. The manga is not horrible at all. I highly recommend it. I'm sure Tina does too, compared to the anime.
I
I
mean,
mean, it wasn't to my taste, but everybody's taste is different.
I personally like I cannot recommend it because compared to the light novels, you should definitely read the light novels. And for me, it was so many like it was a bit edgy, you know, with all those. Yeah, okay. So Prophet knows what I'm talking about. It was edgy. There were like pictures scattered across it that I did not want to see. I was there for the plot, and once again, I got too much fan service. Uh, that's one thing, and the other thing is that they will not handle the plot right. Like for example, this first moment with the boss, you know, was handled one way in the anime as Kushida approaches the student, like the long-haired guy is like the only guy I don't remember who what his name is, and
I couldn't tell you either, honestly.
yeah, and he like refuses to give up his seat, and then an ordinary person
Oh, the
does.
elite guy that I think it was episode 7 or 8 where he's walking through and the butler's like, "Sir, you wet. We need to stop this." Like, I'm too high and mighty to take a towel from you. Step away, you plebeian.
Yeah, he's always like that. It's just he couldn't be nicer to people, but whatever, I guess. So this same scene was handled different to the light novel because it was the teacher that approached this guy, and the guy still won the argument, and it was once again some random person who gave up her seat. But in the manga, they started the scene, then they just got bored drawing it, and they just threw it in the trash, and you know they sat in the end. That guy was forced to
I
give up his seat. It was all fine. Don't worry.
I really love the way you described that. It was fantastic.
And I was like, the whole psychological moment of
I think
telling.
that, I mean, based on a psychological thing, I think it's called like the bystander something. I'd have to look it up.
Uh,
But it's where, let's say somebody sees somebody being attacked or
yeah.
mugged or having a heart attack or some medical emergency. It's the bystander effect. Um,
Yeah.
People will ignore it, thinking that somebody else will come to the aid.
Yeah, eventually, like, Ayanokoji starts this whole with a question of equality. Is the society equal? Is one person, superior above the other? And we have this bus scene as to give us the first hint that what the D class teacher will say later. No, it isn't. No, it's not equal. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And this bus scene is, as the narrative starts, the whole anime starts, and the light novel as well. I may not recall correctly, but I think so. It starts with a question that Ayanokoji asks: is the society equal? And here we see him sitting in the bus in the anime watching this moment,
Yeah.
as it proves that no, society is not equal, and people who can stand up for their interests can stand up above the society. Whether that's right or not, there is no color, given to it like white or black, and we have to think for ourselves here.
Yeah, it's all based on you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
The anime itself touches on what is called a meritocracy, which is based on merit, whether you have the skills or the ability to do something. And that's why they rank them based on ability at
Mm-hmm.
school. And that's why the kids are able to get any job they want once they graduate based on that rank.
Because they're proving that they can serve the society to the best of their potential, and plus their potential is great.
And unfortunately, when the anime begins and the light novel, I should say both of them, they're not given these rules, the unspoken rules of society or the
Mm-hmm.
school itself. And by the end of that month, these kids are like, "Oh, I'm going to get these points and I'll be able to blow all my points on whatever I want, no matter what."
Yeah.
It's not a socialistic school. It's based on their merits. So them slacking off, sleeping through class, playing on their phones. Once that month ends, the teacher tells them some basic rules, if you would,
Yeah.
and they find out the hard way that it's not what they think it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there is like real hard life hammer at the end of the first life.
Real hard life facts, kids. It's time to wake up.
Yeah. Uh,
Should I continue
so.
with your review?
Oh, sure, sure.
The other view on how Ayano should be preserves him as a player in the game. Ayano, who chose you, know whom, if you read the volumes, is a sore loser, who's into very questionable sexual relationships, which we talked about,
Yeah.
and a jerk, and she likes it. Yuck. 50% out of 100%.
Yeah. That's it. That's my review. I mean, 50% is a reference. I personally say that this anime is a little bit like
I
6 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
I was about to say it's an average. It's not like great, It's an okay watch.
Mm-hmm. But it's a nice
Yeah.
read.
If you have the time to watch it, great. If you want to read the novels, even better.
And have the.
And
Yeah.
then a score full of emojis underneath the review. I wouldn't know who did that.
The prophet tries to hide his presence. You know. Yeah. There we have a bunch of emojis. Okay, so we have yet another review to read. That Vladislav is desperately waiting for us to read this. It's his review.
Vlad,
Uh,
are you ready for the ultimate review by you?
yeah. Okay,
Oh, he's not even online. Oh, that's a shame.
we'll see. Because I have set up the server preference. They might get it like 10 seconds later. Well, what do we have here? Is it another anime about students in school? Nice. And yet I enjoyed watching it. In this case, for me, emotions mean more than its quality. So Ladislav doesn't reject the fact that the quality is questionable, yet he enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ladislav is here. Just been the time leap between the stream and us.
Mm-hmm.
Emotions mean more than its quality. Yes, small pitfalls are enough, but it doesn't mar the impression. What kind of realism are we talking about here? That's the whole point of an anime. Charismatic characters, nice art style. I remember colored eyes well, as if
Oh,
they
yes.
have some kind of disease. The
Well, I mean,
protagonist.
the doctor would know.
Yeah, that's a very blind society we would have if the elite all have those eyes, I guess. Or unless they're wearing some lenses.
The protagonist has cataracts.
Lol.
Vlad, I love you, man.
I mean, the review from a doctor.
I know. You gotta love it. You gotta
Yeah.
love the realism in his review.
And too many coincidences with my life. There is a similar situation at the university. We create the elite. I'm the chairman of a D class. I
Ah!
mean, yes, the Vlad is the chairman of our D class. I involuntarily associate myself with Ayanokoji. I also don't like to show all of my power. That is scary.
I mean, Vlad does have phenomenon cosmic powers. I don't know if you personally seen it,
Charismatic?
but we could go with that,
Mm.
or the magic he pulls off in our waifu channel in the server.
Yeah, if you want to claim wife of on our server, beware of the D class chairman.
Beware the Vlad. He's watching and
He's
waiting.
watching. Yeah. I had a few of my like waifus the moment I want to click and claim the waifus, and it's just gone, and just Vlad just has them.
I know. I've been sitting there minding my own business. It could be noon Central Time in the United States. That man will swoop in like a falcon and just snag it. It's like, what in the world was that? It's claimed by Vlad. It's like, that man, he is watching. He is waiting.
I mean, if it's 12 noon in the United States, I mean, it's around like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the Moscow time.
Nah, really?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Eastern
now,
time.
It is midnight Central Time, so it is 8 a.m. your time.
Yeah.
In Moscow.
Yeah.
Vlad, you are a beast.
I mean, yeah, there are moments that I just don't understand how it happens.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. You are the man. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Claim all the waifus. We're having a reset of waifus on the 1st of April. This is not a 1st April joke. I will literally reset all of your waifus, guys. So make sure
I've been on top of that. I don't have to worry about it. Vlad with his 22 pages of waifu. Don't forget that command I shared with you. You're gonna need it, bud.
Oh yes, I mean, I had this moment. I have been divorcing my wife. I mean, my husband does one by one, and then I just saw your command after I did all of that work.
Oh, trust me, I was sitting there. It's like, I think I had like 18 pages, and I was just like, this is gonna take forever. You know what? Let's try this. Snap of the finger. I was just like, yes. Especially after we decided to experiment, see, if your commands would give me any Hakura, or however you want to pronounce it, because I always
yeah. So that's the privilege of being the moderator. You can just come to the server owner and just ask, can you please do this for me?
Well, I mean, you did give me a little bit of a promotion, so
yeah, I did. So now you can do it all by yourself.
It's always good to experiment with, new bots.
Yeah, true. So now you have control over the waifus, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but
that power.
I'll leave that to you. I'll just, I'll keep the moderation. Anyway, so we got off track. I'm sorry, ladies, gentlemen.
It's okay. We had to talk about the waifu.
We had to talk about the beast that is Vladislav.
But then everything became more confused. So many questions and so few answers. So Vlad, I really hope that today we were able to spoil you so much material that now you have so many answers on all the questions asked.
Vlad, please read the light novels. It will blow your mind.
It's very nice. Yeah.
The comparison is night and day.
Why break off the season in a mid-sentence? This is not an open ending. No, it's not. This is to be continued. Yes, it is. Can't agree more. Not sure if I want a continuation. Okay. I would personally want to see continuation because it's going into the Horikita's direction. And since Vlad, you said in the chat that Horikita is your favorite waifu, I think it might be interesting for you to watch the season 2 if it ever comes out.
It's there. It really is there. I kind of want it, but I'm kind of not wanting to see if it'll become like a dumpster fire.
You can be both.
It can be both. I don't know if I want to watch it then.
I cut off my review as suddenly as the season ended. There will be no rating. I don't understand how this anime turned out to be in A class. This is a level of C class. This is a funny joke. I mean, if anything, this is a level of D class because we're having D class main characters. So it's your anime, Vlad, I think.
To those who don't know, who haven't joined our Discord server, which I recommend,
Yes.
we don't have a C class, so it has no class at all.
Wait a second, but we do.
We do not.
We do.
Where?
It's just like right below us.
I see A, B,
Yeah.
D.
And then below,
Oh, the classic class. Oh.
the classical anime evening.
You don't have a review for, or you don't have a page created for it.
What?
I am disappointed.
It's gonna be there. You know, we are voting. As soon as Potato figured out a few things, we're gonna vote for the C class.
You're gonna have to move that page up. It's below.
So you think that?
C-class.
Oh, so I think that classical anime should be everywhere in the whole anime of the week, right? Or it should be up. I will move it. We'll talk about it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, eventually.
That's all that matters. We're trying.
We're trying. We're doing our best. Yeah, so there is a little bit of an announcement I want to make about the changes that's gonna be in April coming up. It's just a little bit of the classes change and how we operate for now. So what we're gonna do is in the A and B class are gonna be starting together and ending together, starting with the 1st of the April. And
does that mean we'll have a 2-hour stream instead of a one?
Yes, so we have only, instead of every Sunday stream, at the end of the month, at the last Sunday of the month, we're gonna stream and talk about all 4 animes that we have watched in the A and B class. So, I'm not sure if you guys prepared for that, but here it comes. So we're gonna have a long discussion, 2 hours of time talking about 4 animes that you have chose for the A and B class. So we have the 1st of April, in which we're gonna start A and B class simultaneously, and then in the middle of the month, we're gonna start it again. And I think it's gonna be better. There's some changes. We'll see how it goes. I'll see how it changes. And don't forget to divorce your waifus for Kakera in the waifus room if you're into the waifus collection games.
Which seems to be most people in the server. So you have until Wednesday next month to do it. That is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
2 weeks, which is 14 days, 16 days.
Math,
Yeah.
it's hard.
We could just do 31 minus 15 and get the same number.
So anyways, you have until the 1st of April, which is on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
In about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, however you want to say it. So, be prepared.
Sure. Yeah.
You are going to be single on Wednesday.
That's a nice one. That's so cute.
I mean, I've already divorced most of my waifus, so get on it. Yeah. Don't forget your husband owes too.
Yeah, I already did.
Miss Tina.
Okay. So one last question before we wrapping this up is I want to chat to claim, okay, so we already have the waifu poll and we know all the best waifu characters, but the main, like the favorite characters and yours in the anime, in overall, like in the whole anime, both genders or like all genders, who is your favorite character?
I mean, in the anime, it's gotta be our main character and Horikita, cause
You just ship them a lot, don't you?
you know what I mean. They are the two characters that are driven in this anime.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the main focus. I really can't find myself to like any of the other characters. I mean, the class lead for Class D.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like him. He's kind of driven. I like driven characters. I really do. But
Hirata, Yosuke.
he falls to the wayside once Horikita comes in and helps our main character be somewhat driven.
He's like, come on, you have to drag us all into the A class with your master plans.
I mean, he's
to
the vehicle.
work.
He's the vehicle. She's the fuel that helps drive him at this point in the anime.
Yeah, I feel like that could be true.
I mean, he's really apathetic, and then once she steps in, it's like, we gotta get to Class A. We gotta get to Class A. And he's just like, I mean, without her knowing, he's like, I gotta help these people.
Yeah. Shall we talk about that moment when she was frozen at the court and he just stands up and gives her a tickle? And that was like, there was one moment when, he helped her out, I think.
I couldn't tell you because it was really, it was really bland for me. I have to admit, which I told you, I fell asleep in the middle of it. And
Wow, you haven't seen the scene?
I had to go back and watch it, and I realized
okay.
I did not miss anything in like the hour that I missed from sleeping because of how boring it was to me personally.
Oh
no! Which I think I touched in the review I left, which was I think episode 7, where they were doing the beach or swimming scene.
Oh yeah. I mean that was boring, but I'm gonna tell you that scene. So they were in the court, and the brother was, Horikita's brother was leading the court as like the main judge, and so Horikita got very frozen because of it. And so the brother took advantage of her, inferiority before him. And she couldn't speak up even though she had the evidence. She just couldn't, make herself do it. So there was this silent moment in the court when Ayanokoji just stood up and just gave her a serious tickle. And she was like, what are you doing? Save me. And everybody is watching. It's just like, and then finally he stops, just silently goes back to his seat. She stands up and gives up. She gives all the evidence necessary. It was a hilarious moment. So there was an emotional block that she had, and he helped her break through it. They would make a nice couple. My personal best character in the whole anime would be Alice, Arisu, whatever. The Japanese pronounce is Arisu Sekanagi.
I feel you on this, since you've been correcting me the entire stream.
and the English one is Alice. Sekanagi. So she's sharing her power with another guy who I have no idea who that guy is. Kyohei Katsuragi. I just looked it up. That bald, huge guy, if you remember.
I felt like he was a teacher based on his appearance most of the show.
He's just huge.
The huge bald guy is like, he gave the aura of being a teacher instead of a
I
pupil.
see. I totally get this.
He
So
had that aura, that energy, that gusto, however you want to say, that seemed like he was a teacher compared to everybody else in the story.
it's a very funny stream. Thank you, Vlad. I agree with you. It is. So that Katsuragi character guy, and who's very tall, and Alice, who's very short, 155 centimeters of pure epicness. So they both share the power in the class. So I'm not sure. Probably one of them is a Democrat and the other is Republican.
What?
Uh,
Where
I'm not
is
sure,
this
but
even
they're
coming
clearly,
from?
but they're like clearly two parties in that A class up to a certain moment, and they're sharing the power together. Yes, so this is a very US based system. So they proved that if you want to have like the best class and the best elite, then the A class is immediately building a model with two parties similar to the British or American system, which is an interesting thought.
Ew. Ew.
What?
Ew.
Just no
Don't,
arguments, pure
don't
emotion.
base just don't base on the American system. That's messed up as it is.
Uh, I think it's nice. I mean, compared to Russia, we have only one party. There is not that big of a choice.
Well, let's not get into politics,
Oh, yeah,
okay?
okay.
I don't
So,
need you. I don't need you be taken away, and I don't need like
yeah.
50,000 comments in your channel
I mean, we
saying
don't
this,
mind
that, and
that.
the
We
other.
don't mind 15,000 comments at a certain
I
point.
mean, I would take it. I would love to see 50,000 subscribers,
Yeah,
maybe more.
yeah.
Maybe your server blows up overnight. Whatever.
I don't believe in
I
such
am here
miracles.
for the ride, and keep people happy and keep Tina in check because Lord knows she drives herself 50,000 miles per hour.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I don't know. What is it? 30,000 kilometers per hour for her. Don't check the
I
math
don't
on
know.
that.
I don't know how the sayings goes.
Don't check the math on that because I will be completely wrong.
But D class won, lol. I think. I mean, as I remember, the light novels goes, they are on the way. I'm not gonna say anything more. They are on the
They
way.
are beautiful
Yeah.
compared to, I hate to say it, the landfill that is the anime.
Yeah. Apparently, like there are different systems that we really can think about. Like D class is just a pure anarchy to me because nobody controls anything. We have like
It
some
is night
sort
and
of
day
leader.
between the anime and the light novel.
Wait,
The D class in the manga or light novel, however you want to say, the story there is phenomenal and
yeah.
there's actual drive for the characters
Mm-hmm.
versus in the anime it is a shallow surface that you get to see, and sometimes directors have a hard time turning material into screenplay, and I think we see a clear example here. I would
Yeah.
give this an average rating, a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I really
I
would.
Yeah, I would say six or
It's not.
seven out of 10, so something like
It's not.
65 out of
It's
100.
not the best. It's not the worst. It is average.
I mean, if we're talking about the wars that we have just so many things to talk about, so compared to them, this is a great animation.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, the storyline is there.
Yeah.
I don't think the execution was good for season 1. I would hope if they do a season 2, they learn their lesson and actually create a great
If they're gonna
anime.
sponsor it, if they're gonna sponsor it.
I would hope that the director of the anime would bring the author on as a guidance for the story
I see.
versus the first season. I believe they didn't bring him on at all, if I read it correctly.
But then again, Horikita would be shoved a little bit away, and the whole
I
plot will be switched towards not so good female
I
character.
mean, some anime they don't follow the
Mm-hmm.
manga by by straight line or however you want to say it.
By letter.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, by the letter. But they're able to loosely follow it, if you
Mm-hmm.
would,
Mm-hmm.
and create a great animation that closely follows it, not to the T, but it is the story is there, if you
Yeah.
would.
Mm-hmm. I personally think the best animation you can possibly have is when you don't have the manga to follow, like at all. And this is when you can just create as a director. But mostly in Japanese studios, they just forced to, go through the material, and then people are disappointing on judging how well the material has been executed.
Yeah. So basically, you're thinking of a free form creation.
Yeah.
We have created an anime, we have animated it. Do you like the story? Congratulations, we're going to create a manga out of it.
Yeah.
That seems to be the thing that happens.
I think this is the best way to to do the thing another way around and
The
to
thing
create.
is, a lot of us seem to be introduced to anime before the manga, and then we decide to read the anime. And
Yeah.
most of the time, you see the anime follow the manga pretty well. Yes, they
Mm,
take liberties based on.
I mean, most of my life I see anime doesn't follow the manga well. So I
I
can't think of a title that would be just good at following the manga right now.
I guess as I've grown up, because I've got a 10-year difference between you. So as I've grown up, it seems like the anime
They
has
didn't need to
followed.
know my age.
I They don't know my age, so it's
Okay.
okay. So it seems like let's say Sailor Moon, they followed the manga pretty good with
Oh,
it.
okay.
Dragon Ball Z, they followed the manga pretty good. Naruto, they followed the manga pretty good. Yes, they put in fillers
Uh-huh.
to create a gap in between a lot of them,
Uh-huh.
which, it's fine and dandy. It doesn't really change anything.
So mostly it's like with the old animation, there was a habit of following the manga to the letter.
And that's fine. That gives people the ability to connect the two stories, to follow along and
Mm-hmm.
read the manga, kind of get ahead of the anime, and then when they see the anime, they're just like, "Oh, it's phenomenal." You're
Yeah.
actually able to see what your mind creates, and for people that love anime or manga, that's like, I don't know, it's pure euphoria.
Yeah, I know. But there is always a problem of making something a movie and making something into the cinema because we have this momentum when you're reading a book. Reading is one thing. This is why I said, like, in the light novels we have tons of philosophy, and that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put that into an anime, it just gets boring, you know.
Uh,
So we have this moment when
to,
we have to show not tell, you know.
to each their own in the art form, I guess.
Yeah, so everything is a little bit different as it gets converted from a book, and a good book makes for a horrible movie or an anime.
It just depends on who the director is. It really does,
I mean,
because
yeah.
some people are I'm not asking for every single detail from a book or manuscript. I am asking for entertainment to bring my imagination alive and to be able to connect the two in a
Mm-hmm.
parallel line. And some authors and directors are able to communicate and do that. I mean, such classics as Dragon Ball Z, they're able to. Yes, there's filler episodes, but if you're entertained along the way, does it really matter?
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Does it?
That's true. That's true. I forget what I
That's the
wanted to
thing.
say.
That's the thing I found lacking with this anime.
Mm-hmm.
The connection just wasn't there. I think the director is like, I need a quick buck, and
Ah,
the manga
welcome, JR.
artist.
I'm here to talk about the best protagonist, the best antagonist in the world. That is Ayanokoji-kun.
Thank you.
You were supposed to say Eos the Prophet, but okay.
Don't worry, you are like my third on the list. So
Oh, ouch! Who's second? Tina?
yeah, Tina is the second. How do you know that?
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Second best protagonist and
Shouldn't
antagonist.
she be the first, and then?
Ayanokoji is the first
Oh,
because
okay.
he's like the supreme of all intelligent in the anime. So
Ouch! That
Oh.
hurts. I thought we were brothers.
man, I already treated my brothers in the first.
That hurts, man. Why you gotta do that to me on the stream? People across the world are hearing this.
No. We don't have that much people yet. It's okay. It's okay. Just a bunch of people.
I mean that is a big group, Tina. From Russia to the U.S. and those in between. That is a
Those in
huge swath of
between.
land.
It's like we're living in the Cold War.
You have the largest country in
And another large country.
in Asia versus the largest country in the United
North America.
North America. Shush. I'm sorry. You have the largest country in Eastern and Western Hemisphere. That is a large swath of land.
Yeah. We have too much land.
Forgive me. It is 12:30 in the morning. Leave me alone.
So
It's okay.
Crass said it on the first show when I started watching the anime. It's like okay, I see this protagonist Ayanokoji. He's the boring character, and then on the progress on the anime in the third or fourth episode when he fights the president. Oh man, these two know how to deal with men.
Okay, the president of the school. I mean, it's been just a few swings of the fists, I think. It's not
No,
been...
he was talking about the prophet. It's okay.
This is random.
Sorry, it came to my mind. I've been awake since yesterday. Leave me
Fighting
alone.
the chair president of the class is the
So-
prophet.
I am the
So-
chairman.
Yeah, Sherman. Okay, so he was funny. So Ayanokoji is like the best protagonist. I never thought I would like it because after ending of the episode of 12, after he revealed he's my Horikita, I never thought you as my friend.
Yeah.
Like oh my goodness, no you, no Kushida, no Horikita, all of you are my tools. My tool to use today.
I mean, Kushida deserves it, though. I mean...
Kushida, yeah. I mean, yeah, she deserves it, but I don't know Horikita.
Yeah, Horikita doesn't deserve that. But on the other side, he has been using all the means necessary to get the whole class on top simply because of himself.
No. He doesn't want all the class to get on the A. Only he wants to be in A class or winning or everything.
I mean, according to the rules, the whole class should be going up if you want to go up. There is a 20 million yen fee if you want to be there alone.
He's gonna use it all in the progress. I mean, I already read the light novel on the. I read the volume 4 or the light novel. Oh man, it's getting too much.
He is the man. He has read the novel and read.
Yeah, just let me get something first. He's getting all the girls, so yeah.
He's getting older. I mean...
Not all the girls. He's getting all the girls.
Oh, other girls.
The girls are falling for him, but he's like, I'm gonna use all of you as my tools.
I think like Ichinose is fallen the victim too, if I'm not mistaken.
She answered too. Yeah, I read the. So far, she's been interested in him. So
Yeah. I mean, she would be a great choice too. Like her, Horikita, so many good choices. Why K? Why God?
the,
No.
on the other thing, someone tell me in Volume 7 it's gonna be a huge for him because he's gonna fight with the president again in front of the school.
Wow. When?
It's in the Volume 7 of the light novel.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I wonder who won the thing because I've been reading like as for the light novels, the rest of them, I just lost my patience and I was just reading the summaries. So I
Yeah,
think I missed out the president fight.
no, he's gonna fight with the president in front of the old school, so you know why it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Someone tell me you're not gonna believe why he's gonna do.
I
Someone
don't
tell me that.
understand
Okay, you're not gonna believe why he's gonna do that.
why.
I don't know. I was just saying what he said. Tell him.
Okay.
Well, someone tell me that Ayanokoji is gonna be the most badass in that volume.
I think Horikita is gonna be the best of the best because Ayano is just kind of chill and he doesn't care.
No, she doesn't care about her too. So
Unless somebody pushes him to the point where he's gonna be the forerunner in the anime, I should say,
I feel
not
sad
the
for
manga.
I feel sad for Sakura too.
Which one's that?
Sakura, the pink girl,
Ah, Sakura, the pink girl with the glasses.
the model.
Yeah, another version of Kay, but a
Oh.
more light one.
I feel bad for her too. I mean, I think Ayanokoji is using her too.
I mean, she is like a quiet character who doesn't, who wants a quiet life.
I thought that her and Ayano were cute together in the anime. I mean, I don't really remember the manga that well, but
Yeah, in the anime, it's good.
in the anime, I would have voted for her, but she's really not that driven because she doesn't have the confidence there.
Yeah, I have like questions about how, about.
make her the best waifu.
Oh, Jr. You're lovely, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Thank
I'm glad
you.
you can make this. Glad that you can make the stream. I
Yeah.
really am. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry. I'm here to make a point of waifu. Sakura is one of the.
Point of waifu.
I better see you more on the waifu channel, man.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Especially
I
after
couldn't
the 1st
find
of April.
I couldn't find it. That's because of you, Tina.
You couldn't find the channel?
No, I couldn't find my waifu. I couldn't find Sakura because of you.
I guess you're gonna have to add her.
I'm confused.
I
Oh,
mean,
You're able to add different manga.
oh,
and
okay,
anime.
okay. I see. Oh, we're gonna end her then.
Or I guess I could, but
At some point, I have a question about like half a D class. How did they get into the classroom of the elite in the first place?
how they get it to D-Class or
Yes, including Sakura.
they were above the rest that have tried to apply for the school, but they weren't that good.
I mean,
They based it on the statistics through the scoring that they did, due to the flashbacks that they showed.
I mean, thinking about Sudo, for example, who is horrible at his grades, right?
I think he made it.
I think it was based on merit through academic or athletic skills. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's good at sports, and there are other two guys who are also horrible at grades and
based
sports.
on the anime and the manga, they don't really show the rules to get in.
Yeah, Prof.
That's
Tina, you need hold on. You need to make a point here that Ayanokoji, he did it himself to get in D class. He couldn't get to A class in the first.
I think he really could have if he tried, but
No,
based on
he did it on purpose. He did it on purpose.
Yeah, I have to agree because his apathy is just like I want to get there, but I really don't care.
I mean, there was some
Yeah.
revenge and rebellion against his father, and he was just trained to be on top of the A class, so it's natural for him.
Oh
So
yeah, if there was
Well,
an S class and he actually tried, he would have been an S
I don't know
class.
if that a reason to make him in the D class, but he get it to D class because he okay, I'm gonna take 50 point, I'm gonna do this, something like that. He did it.
I think,
Yeah,
like, if we're talking,
he just didn't seem to care. He really didn't. Based
Yeah.
on the anime and the manga, it was kind of there, but at the same time, it wasn't.
But he still gets 50 point in all the subjects. So
I wanna have some, I wanna show some similarities with. It's absolutely the same situation, really, with him and Shota Todoroki that we had My Hero Academia stream 2 weeks ago, because they were trained to do something like Todoroki was trained to be number one hero to suppress All Might, and Ayanokoji was trained to be on top, of the A class, to be the elite. And they
Yeah,
both rebelled against his father, but at the same time they both couldn't deny, their program, because they were almost literally programmed to do that. So they
yeah,
continue to strive being a hero, they continue to strive being on top of the A class, yet trying to rebel. And this is how we get in this Ayanokoji moment, that he applies to the school, that he tries to be on top of the school, yet at the entrance exam he gets 50 points of each exam on purpose.
yeah. But I still don't get don't I still don't know something. How is that his past related to now? Because he was trained to be something like the best ultimate human. I don't know, something like that. And then he rebelled against his father, something like that.
Yeah.
Then he's transferred to himself to crash elite to something that's elite of the elite. I don't know how he related to that.
I
Uh,
feel like, I mean, with his rebellion to his father and based on the torturous situation that the rest of the people that he grew up with, he just didn't care, and that's the only reason why he ended up in Class D. He wanted to prove that he could do it, but at the same time, he didn't prove how well he could do it.
He couldn't do it. I mean, he
I
get
mean, he
50
could.
on purpose. On purpose.
Yeah, he is a smart individual that want to show his great potential. He just
And
wanted to be an average nobody that ended up in Class D
I feel
among the
that's.
elite.
Yeah, there is a fair point to that, because he could have scored 100 on each exam, but he scored 50, exactly 50 points on purpose, which shows that he wants to be above that system, you know?
Yeah, that quote in the anime that his father gave him:
I took.
people
I
that want that are it's a waste for people that have the ability to waste it, or something like that.
It's like if you have the potential, to strive for power and you're not using it, then you're a
Yeah.
fool, Only a fool would
well,
Yeah.
not use
well, based
his
on the
potential.
based on the last episode on every episode anime, I can confirm that Ayanokoji doesn't matter. He's gonna use it. He's gonna until as long as his win, as long as his win.
I think he had the potential to be an A class, but he didn't care to kind of show his father.
Yeah.
And then it's because of Horikita that he is kind of showing his ability. And that is the only reason, anyways, in the manga, or sorry, the anime, that he's doing what he's doing is because of this one woman's courage and drive to get to A class.
Yeah,
I mean, he could have easily in the anime destroyed her brother, but
Yeah.
he just wanted to protect her from the abuse that he was trying to deliver.
He's a minimalist, even in the fight.
Completely, I couldn't agree more.
Oh, don't worry. He's gonna destroy the president in the bottom 7. You need to read that.
Okay.
Well,
I'm hyped.
I mean, if they could actually do the second season, I'm sure we would see it, because They like to
They
deliver
still talking about
volumes,
Yeah.
no. They still talking
volumes
about that.
into one episode.
Well, hold on. I was so desperate, right? I want to read. I want to know more, so I went to find the right novel because of that, dude. So I really like the anime, but waiting for the season 2. It's been so long. I wanna read this. Then I found the volume 4. I he's got another girl in that volume, so that was good.
He's got another girl?
It really is night and day, man.
Yeah, he's got another girl. The spoiler is from the same class. He's the blonde one.
We were talking about gay, so if it's about gay, then you can say it. It's okay.
It was the blonde one. The girl that looks like a Garyu. I don't know if you watched. You saw her.
Do you have a picture of her? Maybe we can.
Yeah, hold on.
Is it
Yeah,
Kei
hold on.
Kurizawa or someone else? Okay. Let's see it.
Hold on.
Let's see it. Yeah, so I think like what you're trying to say, Prophet, here, I mean, what you're saying is that he would have stayed in a D class and just calmly graduate if not for Horikita. Because he thinks of himself as like he's above that whole system and whole education school.
Where should I share it? In D class?
In the A class. I'm gonna show it on stream as I drop it.
Which tonight or today, however you want to view it, we're going to add submissions for A class, so be prepared.
Yes,
That
guys.
means you, JR.
Not gore stuff.
Did I send it?
Yeah. Let me see.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna. Do you see that girl? Hold on.
Let's see.
That's hugging Sakura.
Yeah.
That's Kei Kurizawa. Yeah, that's her.
Hold on. Where is E-Class?
You posted in it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see
You
that
got-
that blonde girl? That's the girl.
Yeah. That's Kei Kurizawa.
Yeah, that's the girl. She's gonna fall for him in the volume 4. She fall for him.
Yeah. You know. It's cringy for me personally.
You're gonna understand why she was girlfriend with. Hold on. Where's the male? The other male?
She was a girlfriend to Hirata, the class rep.
Hirata. Yeah. She had like a girlfriend from Hirata.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Sakura? Is that what you said it was? The quiet one that did the modeling?
Modeling, yeah, that's her.
In the anime version, I should say, not the manga.
Uh-huh.
I would prefer Ayano and her to get together for a quiet life, away from everybody versus this backstabbing.
Kushida.
I hate to say this, the backstabbing BS that happens in the anime.
If you know how Kushida gonna screw up everything.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
She's gonna screw up everything.
It sounds like her.
Yeah, but there's something I still don't get it. She hates Horikita a lot.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you why.
I still don't know why.
I can tell you why, but it's a little bit of a spoiler, so I can keep it to the minimum.
Do you know why?
And
Yeah.
everybody, Tina's gonna share spoilers, so if you don't want to listen, tune off
Mute
now.
the stream.
Do you know why?
Tina,
Kushida
please
hates-
go ahead and share the spoiler.
Yeah,
Hold on,
so
hold on,
Kushida hates Horikita because Horikita knows Kushida's true secret. So the spoiler is Horikita and Kushida have been in the same school before they applied to this one. And Kushida did something that Horikita knew about. And the whole previous school knew about. And Kushida is trying to forget and she's trying to find a new life. A new place where nobody knows her. And Horikita is her problem because Horikita knows her. And Horikita can't tell anyone at any point that dark thing.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like almost everybody's connected some way or another through those White Room flashbacks. So
I mean, Horikita and Kushida were not in the White Room as far as I know, but
according to the
Alice.
anime, no, but you never know with the manga because they could change anything at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, that's true though. That's true though.
another thing is that Kushida make Ayanokoshi like touch her blue like I'm gonna show this blue like you try to rape me or something like that. I had this uniform. I'm gonna prevent this uniform to get washed or something like that.
We're talking about that moment. Oh no.
Do you think
uh,
she's still keeping the
yeah,
crows?
I feel like she's keeping it for like 3 years of their studying. I mean, I personally felt like I knew that in the anime, it was I first saw the anime and I thought about it. Uh, in the anime, they left out details that Kushida is gonna keep
Oh
that
yes.
uniform. They left out details that she's not gonna wash the uniform for 3 years straight. But I kind of figure out that that could be the case, and so I thought that you really have to break into her
Do you
room
think
one
they're going?
way or another and steal that piece
But
of clothing.
I don't think that's still enough true or that's Japan.
I
That's
mean, you
Japan.
never know. It's Japan, you know. It's
They're gonna
like
bully the
I'm
girl
I'm
first.
beginning to feel like we should do a anime of the week slash manga tie-in at this point, just based on this anime alone, because we were talking
Because that
about
anime
both
is so great.
aspects.
Because that was a great anime. You know that, Prophet. You know that well.
I do. The anime or the manga was fantastic. The anime, the translation was kind of poor, but it was really there.
They show this teenager like acting like a real adult.
I mean, we're about 2 hours into the stream at this point, but I do feel like we
the,
could start doing an anime manga tie-in,
then we need
and
Tulsa. Then we
I
need
don't know,
Tulsa here.
me and Tina might talk about this for the future, but
We might
You
talk
know
about
what?
this, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna watch the anime for third time now.
for the third,
For,
you are a beast because I fell asleep first watching.
Man, it just like it's not that after you watch the last episode of the anime, the last episode 12. It's like I want to know why now, right now. I want to know
Oh
this.
yes, I felt like the potential was there. I keep repeating this throughout this 2 hour stream, but the potential was there. I just
yeah.
feel like the director of the manga and the writer of the anime were not in contact for
Big,
this
It happens
adaptation.
so often for the adaptations. It just happens so often
I
that
mean, yeah, I have to agree. There
yeah,
was great
I was
potential for a
like
lot of manga anime
like
adaptations.
like you wasn't expecting that about the main character, right?
Right.
I
I mean,
mean, to be honest, I saw on YouTube that end of the 12th episode moment before I have seen the anime, so I kind of knew what
No,
was
well,
coming.
on the first time when I watched it for the first time, I was expecting that, and the end of the anime, I was expecting that about the him because like I never told you as a friend in never moment. I already told you as a tool. I'm gonna use it whatever I want when I want until as long as I win. Like that's
Yeah.
my character. That's
see,
cool, dude.
I read the manga before I watched the anime, and I mean, it's been years ago,
Wow.
but yeah, I know, I get it. But like watching the first episode, it was like they crammed a volume of the manga into the anime, and like this is good. But I'm sitting there going, you missed so much potential right there. And then they continued that for the rest of the first 12 episodes,
Yeah, I mean, we all
and
came to this anime in different ways.
We did. And I mean, that's a valuable viewpoint.
Maybe maybe do not well expect that because it just showed because like before on the half of the anime it just showed that his evil side like oh my goodness then I don't think that was gonna I think that was gonna rule like the half of the other anime. I don't know, maybe something like that.
I mean, I think both viewpoints from the transition from manga to anime is really great.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, I've seen manga translate into anime, and some directors of the of the anime and the manga are in communication,
Mm-hmm.
which make a really great show.
So
Yes, it so
hold on.
often happens that the director doesn't look back at the original source and makes a great thing based on that.
Yeah,
Bro,
some directors are able to create great anime despite glancing at the source material, and
Mm-hmm.
some are able to make fantastic anime
Prophet,
based on the manga. Yes, sir.
Prophet.
Yes.
Do you read the last character spin-out of Crash Edit?
I have only read, I think, maybe 3 volumes, so
The
that's why I'm able to
the
say that
last
in the first episode they crammed 1 volume into it.
the last character of Crash Edit on 2019 is out in the manga. They're starting. That's the start of the volume 4 of the light novel. That's the that is the start of the newest son they're gonna take on the boat or the cruise again.
Ah,
Yeah, they're forming a group, and the blonde girl that I show you,
mm-hmm.
that's she's in the group with Ayanokoji, that in the same group right now.
See, I mean, I've got my hands in so many different manga
Mm-hmm.
and anime right now. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything.
Yeah, but
I
for
go
me
ahead.
personally, I just don't like reading so much. I mean, if it's a good read, then it's a lot of action for me personally because
I
otherwise.
understand completely because I read like the longest running series I've read so far has been like Naruto, and I read that up until his son started taking over,
Uh huh.
and I kind of dropped that because of it. It
Yeah.
just doesn't seem the same.
hold on, hold on. I'm gonna after this stream, I'm gonna send you something you should read
Okay. Okay. So
Me or Tina or both.
for both of you.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
That
You're
sounds
gonna
interesting.
love this. You're gonna love this. You're gonna
Okay.
love this.
Okay.
I can't wait personally.
It's interesting. I'm excited. I'm intrigued.
Don't worry, Tina. It's no gore.
Okay. All right. It's good. Personally, I'm okay with gore.
I love you, JR.
Uh,
Don't forget you gotta submit your title for Class A.
Oh yeah, guys, like right now after the stream, I'm expecting myself and JR to come there and do everything that Prophet asks us to do. Submit titles to him. Make
And
it
don't
do
forget,
it.
if
Well,
you
I really-
submitted it to Class A and it didn't get taken into consideration, you can go ahead and submit it to Class. Or sorry, if you submitted titles to Class C and it didn't get taken into consideration, submit them to Class A.
Okay.
Oh
Well, I'm
yeah.
really glad we can talk about Crash Elite too. That's one of the few anime I really wanted to know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And
It really
and
leaves you on edge.
don't forget to if we've watched something already and it has a second or third season, go ahead and submit that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So if you
easy.
want to, if Tina, if you want to watch Class or a second season of My Hero Academia, go ahead and submit that.
I mean, you're too late. I'm on season 4 right
I
now.
know you've already watched like 3 seasons of it, but go ahead and submit it.
I just
I
couldn't
on the-
force myself
I on
to
the-
stop.
I on the fourth season, so
I'm just
I,
starting the first season right now.
I've gone ahead and started watching the second season, and it is an amazing source of material because it follows the manga so close.
Of
Oh
course, it's a
god.
shonen. Of course, it's a shonen.
We
What else do you
should.
expect?
We should do the second season of Boku no Hero Academia.
All right, well, you know what to do.
I
Class
know what
A
to
is
do.
starting this week. Be sure to submit.
Yeah,
Tina,
guys.
Tina, we need to continue to cross it.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
we
We
can't.
got off on a tangent.
I mean, we can't do that because there is no second season yet. I
Oh,
mean, it's not
classroom
even
elite.
production.
Yeah,
I mean,
I still waiting
you-
for the second season to announce. When it's gonna get announced, I'm gonna scream so hard.
hey, it doesn't matter. We have a manga discussion,
Yeah.
and we can touch upon that if we have to. If we need to make a stream for it, we can and will. So if y'all want to support that, go ahead and give us a like, leave a comment, let us
Yes.
know on Discord. For all things considered, we will do it.
Yeah, guys, we see what you're writing in the comments. I personally see every comment that you leave for obvious reasons. And on Discord, there is a suggestions channel that I constantly respond to. So you know how to
Amen.
get attention.
And if I don't see it, Tina lets me know. So by all means, let us know what you want for the next stream. There's a
Yeah.
possibility for more streams
on.
in the future
Hold on.
other than our Sunday at midnight.
Guys,
Yeah.
Yes.
hold on. Don't give me a moment.
Oh.
Oh, he left.
That was random.
in 2 hours. Hold on. Bye.
Maybe he'll come back. Here he is.
There he is. Unmute JR. We were worried for a minute.
He just left. Oh my god. That was something.
Tina, this is our longest stream ever at 2 hours.
This is to our stream, this is what you get for not doing a countdown. No, honestly, I mean, there has been a little bit of a lag between, for me, the time is still the same, and we are not turning the clock anywhere, whereas in the US, it's been already 1 hour earlier than it should be.
Yeah, I think it switched on.
And thanks goodness I wake up more than 1 hour before the stream starts.
Yeah, I sent you a message about that. Yeah, it switched over on the 8th of March versus a lot of Europe switches over on the 29th.
It's a great anime when, it's a long stream when it's a great anime.
Yay!
I hear God mode for JR.
So true. I want to remind you guys that if you're not the server elite yet, if you have yet to climb up the ranks on the server on Discord, you are still free to influence all of us. You're still free to make friends with the server elites anytime you want, and maybe make a little, conspiracy about which anime to suggest. And it's absolutely legal.
We go on based on activity, whether you've bumped the server up several ways, or say you're a manga enthusiast and you just spam the channel with all these thoughts and all this energy, or you invite a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Whatever you contribute to our server,
we notice
it. We really
it.
appreciate that, and we like to give honor to that by promoting you to the honored elder for the month.
Yeah.
So we're on a constant lookout.
In the future, we're gonna all three of us. We're gonna watch the anime together. We're gonna review it in that moment too.
People that contribute greatly to the server are promoted. They're promoted in our server, and they're able to submit their submissions for Anime of the Week or Anime of the Month in our D class, which is our more adult anime or
Wow, interesting.
Gore
or
class.
more our D class is Anime After Dark, which is our more gore oriented classes,
Mm-hmm.
not nudity.
Still no
Keep that in mind.
nudity. Still the service so nudity free. You can safely come here.
We kind of want to keep away from a hentai.
Yeah, safe for
Uh,
work. Come and join us at
We're gonna
work.
keep it away from Tina.
and then like our C class is open more towards everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but
Classic like
based on
Evangelion.
popularity, we're only able to nominate 10 anime for the month, and
And
then
C
we
class?
oh sorry, C class is anime per 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so we stream that every other Friday, so anybody's able to enjoy and join that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be on
And
Discord to participate in that. It's not gonna be out. C and D class are not covered by YouTube so far. So it's
Emma
only
of
a B
Secret
class.
is Potato Head.
besides that, we kind of want to keep it on the Discord servers because it's more of a close knit family, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really can't beat when it comes to family. I mean,
True. So
What
with,
good.
with, with family, you don't have to exactly like them, but at the same time, you love them because they're family. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, family like One Piece, Bleach, Gintama, all that is for family.
but at the same time, we're changing the server to accommodate our growing numbers. So we're going to
Yeah.
do class A and B at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the week, starting after the stream. So go ahead and put in your votes. We're going to nominate 20 anime at this time and select two, one being for class A, one being for class B. And for the end of the month, we're going to do a how
Uh,
many hour stream at this point, Tina? 2 hour?
yeah, so okay, the thing
Oh
is
yeah,
that we
I'm so
already
tired,
like
dude.
B class is still going until the 22nd of March, right? So we don't need the B
Right.
class this month anymore. Like, we're just gonna sit 1 week idly, probably, most likely. If I.
So at the end, when it starts, we're going to do class B on the 22nd, but starting the week after that, we're going to do class A and B
Oh, the same.
concurrently.
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah.
So on I want to say the 29th of this month, they're going to start at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then upon Tina choosing the date, we're going to do a 2 hour stream for both classes.
It's simple. It's the last Sunday of the month.
Okay,
Same
so
hour as usual.
I couldn't tell you what the last one is. So it would be the 26th of April.
Nice.
We're going to do a stream for both classes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tina will choose the stream for class D sometime in between that.
Are we still
Yeah,
in
I
the stream?
guess so. Yeah, we're still there.
Okay. So what is the next anime we're gonna talk on Saturday?
So now we are switching a little bit the system. There's gonna be an announcement on the server right about now. I just told you guys on stream beforehand that we're not gonna make, we're slowly switching the system a little bit. We're gonna make one stream at the last Sunday of the month and cover all 4 animes that we are watching in A and B class.
Plus, we'll have C class video or D class video.
Listen.
And then we're not sure about C class. Me and Tina need to discuss that.
So far C and D class are still figuring out, and we'll do something about the manga. So stay tuned.
As the server grows, we're trying to figure things out that work for everybody.
The channels grow too. We thank you for your support.
Because as of right now, we are at what is it? How many? 55 members in our server. 31 YouTube subs.
Yeah.
for Tina's
Subscribe.
channel.
Subscribe, guys. There's like 55 of you. I want to see the subscription. I want to see that bell if you want to get notified. If you don't want to get notified, unsubscribe immediately.
Subscribe,
Please support.
smash that bell, and
Please.
make sure to notify.
Please subscribe to Tina's channel and support us through each and every time to anime or talk.
Subscribe for more EOS. Profit.
Subscribe for more Tina.
Alright. This is the discussion of Classroom of the Elite, and there are some survey changes.
Best anime I watched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm happy
Good
that
to
it's
know
the
that.
best anime for you, man.
Yeah. And thank you so much for coming and watching the stream. There is always link to join our Discord server in the description, and you can join our stream starting from this moment at the end of each
Please be-
at the end of each month, the last Sunday.
Please be sure to subscribe, join the server.
Thanks.
If you want to participate.
And thanks for
Subscribe.
being here for to the listeners to talk about Grassroots of the Elite.
Yeah, join the server. You can be able to spend more time with me, Tina, JR, Vlad, and the whole rest of the
And
crew.
Potato Head too.
We have plenty of activities in the server, plenty of discussions, plenty of free Steam games. We have a nice little.
Oh yes, we're doing Steam giveaways. Thanks to who's doing the
Thanks
Steam
to
giveaways?
Uchiha
Madara.
If we
He's
continue
a great guy.
to grow, I'll be able to throw in some more games for you guys. Possible in the future, as the community grows, we'll be able to throw in Nitro for the month, Discord Nitro. So be sure to join. Join the server. We are a safe for work server, so you don't have to worry about that when
You
you're
can
at
join
work.
us at work without being fired.
The only rule we require is it's got to be safe at work, and you have to make sure to mark your spoilers. So
Marcus
feel
spoilers.
free to join.
Yeah.
We have a lovely community that's growing every day, so please be sure to join.
And we have a toxic chat for, if you don't want to be lovely with our community, it's still okay.
Yeah, if you want to tell me and Tina that we suck, I mean,
join the
by all
toxic
means,
chat. Yeah.
All
right. This is the end of the stream. Let's wrap it up. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Prophet and JR, for coming today, as usual.
Thank you all for joining us. Glad you can enjoy our banter. As our channel grows, you're able to join us on stream and have a discussion with us.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you can join
feel
this
free.
discussion anytime.
Yeah.
Bring your mic,
So-
bring your English, bring your opinion. That's all that's
In your
needed.
knowledge.
Because
Please
by
don't
all
lie.
means, I can't speak Russian, so.
It's not needed though. It's
Bring your
okay.
knowledge about anime and everything you want to talk about.
Yes, bring your passion for anime and manga
And
to our Discord
spoilers.
server.
Waifus.
By all means, bring Tina's ambition for spoilers to this discussion.
And bring your base waifus because I'm gonna steal it for you.
Oh, another waifu stealer. That's what we have.
I mean, I think you mean Vlad, but okay.
I mean, the official waifu stealer is Ice right now.
All right, folks.
Okay.
Appreciate you joining us. You all have
Okay.
a good night, morning, or evening.
Yeah,
Afternoon,
and
even.
see you on the 29th of March for our final, the end of the month stream. See you guys there.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.